feel like I'm the only person who still drinks tea when it's hot outside. Cheers. Okay, so for May, I really didn't read that many books. I'm not gonna hold y'all. Don't know what was going on, don't know what was in the air, but I was in a reading slump. I did not want to read nothing. I didn't want to look at a book. I bought new books, but I didn't want to read them. If you know, if you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. I'm so sorry. But these are all the books that I read in May. Got our little book spread going on. Okay, y'all see my girl Emily Henry in there. Y'all know I love her down. I love her down so bad. So I'm just gonna tell y'all about the books. Okay, so I'm basically gonna go in order of the books I read in May. So I started with this book right here. It's called Little Fires Everywhere by Celeste. Y'all know I can't pronounce her last name, so I'm not even gonna attempt at it. It's a show. It's a show. I didn't know it was a show, honestly. I'm like, I think 4 years behind because I think it came out in 2020. But this is a show. If you want to check it out, it's on Hulu. It has Kerry Washington and Reese Witherspoon in it. I watched the first episode. I was kind of bored, so I kind of turned it off. No tea, no shade. But basically, Little Fires Everywhere is about Mia and Pearl. Mia and Pearl is a mother-daughter combo, and they travel around, you know, because which one is the mom? Hold on. Mia's the mom, right? And she's an artist, but she's just like traveling around to get like inspiration for her art pieces, and then she like picks Pearl up and like moves, and Pearl's been moving around a lot in her life. So when they move to Shaker Heights, Mia's like, we're gonna stay here, like this is our permanent place, like I'm not going anywhere. And she starts to become friends with the basically the landlord's children. So Mia's living in a duplex. The landlady is terrible with names. I'm terrible with names. Elena. Landlady is Elena. Landlady is Elena. She has this particular set of rules. Like Shaker Heights is like this perfect utopia sort of town. She has 4 kids. The last kid, Izzy, she's kind of like a wild child because she don't like follow none of the rules. She kind of like is against everything her mom is for, and she's really like the rebellious child. But basically these two families end up like, I wouldn't say coming together, but they become like intertwined. And Elena starts to dig into Mia's past, and Mia starts to like, it's really crazy. Honestly, it's really crazy. It's basically about like motherhood and like daughterhood and what does it mean to be a mother, because there's a case in the book about a lady who abandoned her baby at a fire station, but she wants her baby back because she has her life together now, but the baby has now been adopted by another family. And they're like, well, people are like, well, the baby should be with their adopted mother, but then other people are like, well, she needs to be with somebody who can take care of her. So it poses the question, what makes somebody a mother? Is it strictly DNA, or is it loving and nurturing and caring? So food for thought. I really like this one. It was kind of slow because like one thing about Celeste, she's gonna tell a story. She's gonna tell the back past. She's gonna tell the back past. She's gonna tell the backstory. She gonna give you all the details of why things are happening this way. And she's a storyteller. Like she's a real storyteller. And you know, I liked it. You know, I think I give this one 8 out of 10. Just 4 stars. Check it out. Okay, if you don't want to check this book out, just go watch the show on Hulu. Just go watch the show on Hulu. You know, y'all already know I had to put my girl in there. Y'all know I had to put my girl in there. I had to put my girl book called Happy Place by Emily Henry. Okay, I found it in a paperback. I've only been seeing hardcover copies, but I found it in a paperback. Shout out to that. Shout out to that for real. Y'all know I love Emily Henry and her little romance books. Like she is such a beautiful author. And honestly, this one was a little angsty. Okay, this one had a little sass in it. So once again, I'm terrible with names. Just because I don't remember the names don't mean I didn't enjoy the book, because I'm just terrible with names. Okay. Harriet and Wynn. Okay, Harriet and Wynn are their ex-lovers. Basically, they broke up. They didn't went to live their separate lives. They didn't broke up. But the gag is, all of them, everybody on the cover. Y'all see everybody on the cover right here? This is the whole friend group. And the entire friend group, hold on. They go on a yearly trip to Maine, because one of the friends has this cottage. Her name's Serena. She has this cottage, and they all go to the Lobster Fest in Maine, and they stay in this cottage, you know, da da da. The trip is coming up, and nobody knows that they're broken up. So they're gonna have to like act like they like each other for the sake of their friends and for the sake of the whole like group relationship. And come to find out, Serena and Parth, which is another one of the guys, Serena and Parth are getting married on the trip. So she's like, we can't tell them that we're broken up. We're gonna ruin the wedding. So we're just gonna sit on it until like the end of the trip. Y'all, they fell back in love. Oh, they fell back. They fell back in love, but they were just like, the reason they broke up in the first place was because of distance, okay? He had to go back to Montana. She, I don't even know where she's from. Tread Abbott in the morning. Jesus Christ. She's, she's doing her surgical residency, but he is in Montana with his mom because his dad passed away, and so he's living with his mom, like trying to take care of whatever. And the distance just got to them, so they ended up breaking up or whatever. And they both feel like they was holding each other back from like achieving their true potential. But they ended up having a conversation about that, and they were like, nothing, like, it's gonna be the same. Like, he's like, I don't want you to move to Montana with me because that's what you think that I want. Like, you need to do what you need to do for yourself. And basically she ended up moving to Montana with him. I'm not even gonna hold you. Beautiful story. I loved it. It wasn't your typical like romance like from Emily Henry. Like, it was, I'm telling you, it had a little anger to it. I'm like, whoa, where is all the hostility coming from? So you should read it. You should read it. I'm always gonna recommend Emily Henry because I love her so bad, so you should go read it. Okay, the next book is this monstrosity right here called The Dead Guy Next Door. Okay, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. Why would I not want to read a book called The Dead Guy Next Door? Like, that sounds like so intriguing. Like, who's the dead guy next door? Like, let's be so for real. Basically, Riley's a clairvoyant, okay? She gets like messages in her dreams and stuff like that. Her mom is like a famous medium or whatever, but Riley doesn't really want to be bothered with all the clairvoyancy, and like she doesn't want to, she really honestly could care less about her clairvoyant gifts and stuff like that. She thinks she's a freak, she thinks she's a weirdo, until her neighbor gets murdered, and she saw him get murdered before he actually got murdered. And so now she's kind of like helping solve the murder with this detective Nick. And I mean, you know, they both are attractive, so they end up kind of like liking each other or whatever. It was a lot more going on because she lives in this big mansion with a lot of old people, and I'm not gonna lie, the old people made the story so funny. Like, one of the characters is like a crime she's like Batman. Like, she puts on a mask at night and like goes to fight crime, and it's so funny because, like, girl, you're like 84, please go sit down. No, she was my favorite character. But she lives with all these old people, and she's like trying to protect them from like getting killed because they feel like this is gonna come back. But basically, the guy who's living next door, he was like part of this illegal like gambling ring and stuff like that. Too much, okay? Way too much. There's this big fight scene at the end. They get shot. Girl, it was actually a lot going on in this book. I can't even lie. But it was a decent read. Like, I enjoyed it. Was it worth 450 pages? Not in my opinion. Not in my opinion. I'm not even going to, not in my opinion. Y'all could have capped it at like 200. I don't know, man, but it's just basically like a murder mystery turned clairvoyancy. And there's a sequel. The book right here is the sequel. I tried it, didn't like it. I was bored immediately, so I'm probably gonna DNF that one. I don't DNF books. I hate to DNF a book because I like to give every book a chance, but I'm probably gonna DNF that one. So this one's cool though. The Dead Guy Next Door is cool, but the second one I was like, yeah, I'm not feeling this. And last but definitely not least, bro, we have The Alchemist, okay, by Paulo Coelho. Let me tell you something about this book. I bought this book years ago. I bought this book maybe in 2021, and I started it, but I never finished it because it was kind of, it was kind of boring when I first read it, but then I read it again. I gave it a second chance. I can't even describe this book. This book, I'm gonna describe it the best way that I can, but basically the book is about a boy who sees, he has a dream that he's supposed to go to the ancient pyramids in Egypt, right? Because there's a treasure there waiting for him. And so he ends up confirming the story with the gypsy. He goes to a town with a gypsy in it, and the gypsy's like, yeah, this is true, but bring me some of your treasure, because I just told you your future and you need to bring me some of the treasure when you go back. Cool, okay, whatever. So he ends up running into this old man, and the old man tells him that he's a king, and he's like, yeah, you need to go to the pyramids. Like, I'm gonna give you these 2 stones, and you need to pull these out when you need to answer questions. Because basically the thing is, you ask the stones a question, and then you pull one of the stones out of the bag, and one stone represents yes and one stone represents no. So he's like, you need to only ask when it's absolutely necessary, and also pay attention to the omens, okay? So he's like, all right, I'm on my journey. He sells a sheep, right? He sells a sheep because it's hard to travel with sheep. So he's like, I'm just gonna sell my sheep. He sells his sheep because he's a shepherd. I left that as a shepherd. So he sells the sheep, and he's like, okay, I'm gonna be on my way to the pyramids. Big journey, big journey. He ends up not even going to the pyramids because he ends up working at a crystal shop. And then moral of the story is, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. That is the biggest lesson. It's not about the destination, it's about the journey. It's a beautiful story about the journey. And look how thin it is. It's only 170 pages. Go read it. Yeah, that's all I got for y'all. I hope it's a short video. I don't know. I won't know until I put it together. But yeah, and make sure y'all like the video and subscribe, and also turn on those post notifications, okay? Turn on those post notifications so y'all don't miss when I post another video, okay? I really hope y'all enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. Bye.